Go until Election Day. The Democratic vice presidential nominee, Joe Biden, is calling on John McCain to call off what he describes as the personal attacks. Listen to this.
I say to my friend John McCain, if he's really serious when he said this morning on one of the shows that this election is all about the economy, then I say, John, stop your ads. Bring down those robocalls. If it's about the economy, argue about the economy. Not about Barack Obama's character, not about these scurrilous ads. John, stop these calls.
All right, let's discuss. Joining us, Joe Trippi, a Democratic strategist and CBS News political analyst, and Alex Castellanos, our CNN political contributor and Republican consultant. He's obviously pretty angry right now, Joe Biden is. But isn't it smart, Joe, for the Republicans at this point, only 2 weeks to go, to keep this drumbeat going?
It's the only shot they've got. I mean, the McCain campaign has to attack, and the problem with that is it seems to be there's a backlash against it. People are tired of that. They want to focus on the economy, and that's sort of the box that the McCain campaign finds itself in. It's fighting in states like Pennsylvania and Florida that it has to win, and if it loses Florida, it's over. It's fighting on the economy, which isn't good for a member of the GOP to be fighting on, particularly with the Bush economic policies hanging over their heads. So all they can try to do is tear Obama down. I don't think it's going to work because people know it's a desperate attack to try to gain back, try to take back a lead that's drifted off.
Alex, what do you think?
I think that it's like a football game. You can't win with just offense or defense. You have to have both in a political campaign like this. And in fact, your attacks are not going to work unless you give people some hope that you can do a little better. You know, you can't just back people against the wall. You've got to have a door out of the room. And yes, I think John McCain's doing the right thing by keeping the pressure on Barack Obama. I think on the issues, on the economy, not so much on the character attacks. But he's also got, at this critical point near the end of the campaign, here's what you get with McCain. And he's got a good story to tell. If we change Washington, we can get this economy going again. There's nothing wrong with the American people. It's Washington that's broken, not you.
Because that's a point that people can resonate with, Joe. This checks and balances usually a good thing in Washington, and the Democrats have overwhelming majorities in the House and Senate, and a Democrat in the White House. Those checks and balances are going to be limited. And you hear this, it's a little late in the game right now, but you hear this argument coming from Republicans with increasing veracity right now. It
may be coming from Republicans, but it's not coming from the McCain campaign. I mean, that's what's, the McCain campaign's been running these robocalls that are, a lot of them are personal attacks. They're not on the economy. They're not on the balance of power, any of that stuff. They're just they're just trying to scare people, and that's where I think the McCain campaign has fallen flat. They've lost the original Maverick theme that they came out of their convention with. They're now, unfortunately, backs to the wall, trying to do too many things, trying to claw back from too far down. And I think in those desperate acts, it's a backlash that's hurting McCain, not helping.
You know, the rallies that we see all over the country, Alex, huge rallies, 100,000 folks showed up for Barack Obama in St. Louis over the weekend. When John McCain is together with Sarah Palin, the rallies are pretty intense, lively, although they're much smaller when he's there by himself. And we saw this just over the past 24, 48 hours. But in general, how important really are these rallies when all is said and done?
Usually they're not that important. For Barack Obama, they do demonstrate breadth of support, and they've used them organizationally very well. They collect emails, they collect cell phone numbers, and so they take those rallies and use them as stepping stones to build a very powerful get-out-the-vote organization. But generally, rallies can also be a sign of trouble in a campaign. For example, if you're just collecting the people who are already for you, the intense people, you're not going to win an election. Your job is to actually get those people at the back of the room, the people who don't come to the rallies, the undecided and the less intense. And so if you're just building your campaign to target those people, you may be missing the soft middle that you need to get.
Is he just preaching to the converted? What do you think? We're talking about Barack Obama, Joe.
Well, no, I mean, with Obama, it is jazzing up the energy that he has to help a amazing get out the vote effort. I think we're going to see one of the greatest probably the greatest get out the vote effort in the history of this country in terms of the number of people out there volunteering. Many of them come from those crowds. On the other side with McCain, let me caution, one of the last things you hear in a campaign that's going down is, look how big our crowds are. It's like once the polls start going, once the states start going, you start to hear the hope that the crowds mean something, and that's usually when they don't.
Alex Castellanos and Joe Trippi, good discussion, guys. Thanks very much.
Good to be here.
Preparing for